Well, it was the record label's idea, and I think they just thought it was a good time to do it. It's been 11 years, and with the success of the last album, 5, I got a lot of younger new fans that don't know the music before the 5 album. So I think they thought it was a good opportunity for those fans to hear where I've come from.
Okay, so there are 15 Lenny Kravitz hits on there, but what are your personal favorite ones?
On that album?
Yes.
I mean, they all stand for something, so it's really hard to choose, because each of those songs represent an emotion, a time, and they're all close to me in that sort of way.
Okay, and so those are 11 years of your career. What are you most proud of, and what would you have done anything different maybe?
Well, you could always say I could do this differently, but I when a record is finished, I accept it, because otherwise I'd probably drive myself crazy thinking of all the changes that I could make. And the thing that I'm proud of is that all the music sounds fresh. It doesn't sound like some of it doesn't sound dated next to the new stuff. It all pretty much flows really well, and it sounds like it could have all been recorded at the same time, and I like that.
Okay, cool. So you don't think that your sound has developed somehow?
Well, it has developed, but it just doesn't. Sometimes you put on music, like a greatest hits of a group, or you listen to their older music, and say there's something in the 80s, and it sounds really blatantly 80s, and you know, I don't hear that kind of thing, which is something that I've always strived for, to make the music sound classic and to have it be able to stand up with time.
Okay. How did you develop your personal style of music? Like, because you know Lenny Kravitz sounds like Lenny Kravitz. How did that happen?
How did that happen? It just,
yeah.
You just develop your own style. You know, it just happens. I've always done my music from the heart, you know, and done what's come natural, and thank God, you know, I've developed a sound.
Okay, so the song again was put out as a single. How did you come up with this song, and what is it about?
It just came out from me playing the guitar one day in the studio, and like a lot of the songs do, you're not even intending to write a song, it just comes out. But it's about seeing a person that you feel a connection with, and wondering if you should approach that person to see what it is, but then they disappear and you don't see them again.
Okay. Well, can you tell us about the video shooting? Where did it take place, and did anything funny happen? And I think there's you really gave a concert for the performance.
Yes. Well, it was shot in New York City, and it was shot all over the village and downtown area, and then the concert footage was shot at the Limelight in New York, where we played, and actually, and then through the party at the Limelight as well, which is the scenes in the video toward the end when we're hanging out with all the people, and it was great. It was a 2-day shoot, and it went well. It was directed by Paul Hunter, who did the Fly Away video and did American Woman for me as well.
Okay. When will we hear something of new music? Will you put out a new album?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna get back in the studio very soon, the next couple of weeks, and begin working on the 6th album. And I'll hopefully have that out for the end of 2001, about a year from now.
Cool. What will it be like, the sound?
Well, I mean, I know that it's gonna be very upbeat, and it's gonna be very funky, and but it's too early to really say. I mean, I might get in there and the whole thing might turn around.
Okay. Isn't it kind of how much pressure do you feel like you will put out a new album and you say like you don't really plan on writing a song? It just happens.
Right.
But of course, for an album, you have to have like a certain number of songs. Is there sometimes the pressure lying on you, and what do you do against that? How do you come up with your music?
I just go in the studio, and I mean, usually when I start an album, I'll have 2 or 3 songs prepared, and that's it. And then I'll start recording those. And the more time I spend in the studio, the more I begin to open up, and things just start flowing. It's something that you really can't explain. It just happens. You really get into that mode of working, and things just start to pour out.
Okay, cool. And what about touring? What are your future plans like?
I will not tour until the next album comes out.
Okay, good. Well, you have achieved so much during your career, like your best off-album shows now. What is there still left for you to reach? What do you want to reach as a musician and as an artist?
Oh, I don't feel that I've even begun. I mean, I've only made 5 albums. That's not a lot to me. And, you know, I'm always trying to just grow and make better music. Mm-hmm.